people would say the same thing. People outside of the church, and even some people in the church, say the same thing about the request of pastors in regards to offering. You know, why you asking people for offering? Were you asking people for their hard-earned money? Dr. Umar is one of those people who be tearing down the church about offering it. You taking people's hard-earned money and all, and I agree that there's some pastors and some preachers are very manipulative when it comes to, you know, offering and everything. But for the most part, the church is still a business, like you said, and it's a building. So it's a building that has bills. Like
Yes.
like the church isn't free. The bills aren't free. You know what I mean? You know, so those bills still have to be paid. And so how do we do it? Oh, the pastor need to get a job. Okay, and many pastors are bivocational. You know, and so still then, like, are they supposed to pay their bills and the church's bills all by themselves? Like, it's just not, it's just not logical, you know, how people view those things. And so, yeah, man, so we're gonna get off of this topic. I don't know, that just jumped into my head, man. I don't know, I just wanted to pick your brain about that, man. Josh, can you tell us about a particular memorable performance or interaction with some fans since our last interview?
Um, well, I've been blessed to, do different kinds of events, community events. Nonetheless, I think the ones that touched me the most, I sung at this nursing home one time.
Mm.
You know, to say that I've sung on a big stage before, you know, something about that nursing home blessed me. And you gotta think about it. Some of these people, they don't have much longer on this earth. And, just to spend a little time out of my day to go over there and, hear these people say, you made my day, you know, it really does mean something, people who are stressing about things they can't control, they no longer have control over the fact that, just me rendering my services, and ministering them and imparting into them, and all of that good stuff. Just for them to say, you blessed me, I was having a terrible day until you came, and now I'm gonna have a great rest of my day.
Wow.
For the rest of my week or month, just because of that, man. It's definitely a blessing. And, I think, ministering to the elderly, ministering to children, giving the children, hope, pouring into them wisdom and, hope and, encouraging them is a blessing in itself.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That's good, man. It's awesome, man. It's amazing to hear that you are, you're going out, you're ministering to like the elderly and community events. Those things are really important. It means a lot to people. Like you were saying, man. Like, it really does. And I don't think we really understand that. I'm a person who spent a lot of time in a hospital because I've had 7 heart attacks.
Wow.
And so I spent a lot of time in the hospital and out of the doctor's office and all that kind of stuff. And it was amazing when like nurses came in and they were saved and they were, ministering to me, and it just encouraged me and it gave me hope, and I think that's something that a lot of people are looking for, especially in this day and age. Just no matter what age you are, they're looking for hope,
Certainly.
Yeah. So that's good, man. That's awesome to hear, bro. I don't know if you can talk about this, but have you collaborated or do you intend to collaborate with any artists on your upcoming project?
Well, at the moment, I don't have any. All right. I'll put it like this: I have spoken to some artists,
Okay.
and there are some things being worked out. I can't make any promises because nothing is in writing yet. But I've just been recording a whole bunch of songs by myself, and some of them I hear features on.
Okay.
So, if I find the right feature for those songs, at least they have the reference. They could just, you know, put their voice on it. But certainly that's in the conversation. Um, but nonetheless, I do intend on at least doing a few projects, just a few self projects, just so you know I could build more of a catalog of my music and you know me as an artist alone.
Nice. Okay. Okay. Nice. Is there a song of yours? Is there a song of yours that has taken on a new meaning for you since we last spoke?
Absolutely. My new single actually, and I'm not saying this for marketing purposes. I'm saying it's because the song was literally rededicated to Christ, and I released it 2 days before Thanksgiving. Actually, it's called "Sing the Most Beautiful." No, the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
It's called "Sing the Most Beautiful Thing," and that was an R&B song at first.
Okay.
And God told me, listen, I want you to represent me fully and wholeheartedly. I took that from my R&B catalog, so that was a part of it. But nonetheless, God also told me don't waste that song, because that was one of the most favorited amongst my catalog by my fans and my supporters. So I decided to rededicate the song to Christ, and I got some help. My dad actually helped me rewrite the songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and then shout outs to the musicians as well. Dave Cozart III, Timothy McLean, Jeremy Turgeon, and Michael Boateng. Putting it all together. And yeah, man, it turned out to be one of my most successful songs in my career as of this point of my life, in my career. It was number 25 on the Identity chart. And that song has gotten nominated for the Gospel Choice Music Awards as well. Yeah, I'm just grateful, man. God is amazing, bro.
Yes, he is, man. So where can everybody find that song?
Anywhere you stream music, anywhere and everywhere. Single Most Beautiful Thing, Joshua Robinson. You'll find it.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Have you explored any new musical styles or techniques recently?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. I think it's best for you guys to hear it rather than tell. Because listen, trust me, when you hear it, you see what I mean.
Okay. All right. Man, Josh, you gonna make us wait again, man? Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, man, I got to, because here's the thing, right? If I give it to you too soon, when I really need y'all to be excited about it, y'all gonna be like, "Well, I've heard that already." So, y'all could wait. Y'all could wait. Y'all, as Christians, we supposed to be waiting on a lot of things.
Right.
So, like, I'm serious though. Now we will, look how serious you got just now. He was like, oh man. Gotta have fun.
Okay, yeah. So we gotta wait. So y'all, we gotta wait. But in the meantime, you can check out, all of Joshua's other material, all of his other music, especially his new single. Check all of his music out, support him, and tag him. Let him know you heard it. Let him know that you're supporting him. It's important. All right. So, can you share a challenge you faced in your career recently, and how did you overcome it?
Being different is hard. Being different is hard for the reason so it's not hard to, but if you're naturally different, it's not hard to stand out. But sometimes standing out can be controversial. Hence the Kim Burrell situation. She stands out. She's different. She processes things differently. She handles situations differently than most of us would. As for me, my approach to gospel music is different, and it is often mistaken for, and I hear this a lot, but I really I want to nip this in the bud because I want people to understand it. This sexy gospel thing that they always talk about. And, I think a lot of time it is misconstrued because you got to think it's art at the end of the day. Music is art.
Yes it is.
Art, the best art that we've ever seen is the art that has no borders. And so as for me, the way that I hear music, the way that music comes from me is different, and it's very sensitive and delicate, very sensitive and personal. And it comes from my heart. And being that it comes from my heart, it's not gonna sound like everything else you hear, because the truth of the matter is, you and me bleed the same red, but we don't have the same heart.
Right.
The way you interpret things are different from how I interpret things. Right. The way you express yourself is different from how I express myself.
Right.
And so, most people can't get with it because they don't understand that literally this is art, and this is a creation of art for Christ, dedicated to Christ. People, they listen so much on the approach that they block out the words. They block out the meaning of the song because it sounds seductive. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of people don't know the difference between seductiveness and sensitivity. Right. And I know this is a touchy subject because this is, gospel and this is church, but at the same time, people need to really learn how to marginalize things better than they do. Right. Because what I tell God is personal for me. And I was strictly instructed by God to do that the way that He gave it to me. Right. So the opinions of people shouldn't matter, because at the end of the day, I'm being obedient. Right. So we need to learn the difference and not be so judgmental. In fact, if you don't like how it is, gospel has a variety of different sounds, which is why I love it so much. Right. Because you hear so many different approaches. I can safely say that my favorite genre of music is gospel music because it is so multifaceted. Right. You have jazz, gospel, you have gospel R&B, you have gospel hip hop, you have gospel standards, hymns, classical, like there's so many approaches to it, and it's so multifaceted. And what makes the gospel is the message, not the sound. Right. Nonetheless, there is a sound, but at the end of the day, there's more than one sound. Right. But at the end of the day, the beauty, you got to think about it like this. One of the most beautiful sounds in the world is worship. Yes. And worship has a sound, and it's not marginalized by how man views it. The sound is, Lord, I worship you, I love you, I praise you, I thank you for who you are. Right. That is a beautiful sound. It's a beautiful feeling when you say those things, and those things are personal, and so it doesn't matter what kind of music you put behind it, because what matters is the utterance of Christ. Right. That's where the beauty lies, not in, me being an artist. My contribution of what beautiful sounds I can produce on top of the beauty of the sound of worshiping Christ as a marriage, as a putting it together. Right. It's a very personal, sensitive thing. And I feel like, not only with just me, but anybody who creates gospel music, you have to look at it as that and not be so, gospel ain't supposed to sound like that. Let's really have a a history lesson. It's a history lesson for you because I bet you a lot of people don't know this. Gospel music or traditional gospel music, as we know, was created by a blues musician named Thomas A. Dorsey, a blues musician. Wow. So a lot of the traditional gospel music that we love and we hear,
right,
it's blues.
Right,
and jazz and fusion and mixed, and it evolved into all these kinds of different things. So
right.
At the end of the day, there really are no rules of how it's supposed to sound. It's what we say. It's the message that we portray. My father told me that his beginning of his Christian journey was all based off of the music that he heard. He was a Muslim.
Oh, wow.
He was a Muslim. And it was listening to the BB and CC Winans. It was listening to the Commission and Fred Hammond, you know, the Clark sisters, the people who didn't have like that churchy sound,
right,
you know, consistently at least,
right,
you know, but, you know, those are the sounds that drew him. And once he started to, it's like, I feel something. This music is, not only does it sound good, it makes me feel a certain kind of way. It brings me peace. It brings, it mellows me out. And so then once you listen to the words, it's an utterance. It's a worship. It's an utterance to Christ. That's what led not only him, but millions of people around the world to Christ. So we have to stop being so judgmental and so boxed in. You know, if that's not what you like, that's not what you like. But don't penalize other people and other artists in the way they express themselves because it's not what you think it's supposed to sound like, or it sounds different than what you're used to. How about you get used to something else? You know? Right. I say that with love. I don't, you know, I got passionate about that because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, it's very discouraging as somebody who's trying to do this out of the kindness, not only the kindness of their heart, but in obedience to Christ. And us as Christians, we're supposed to encourage each other to be obedient to Christ, not penalize each other for how we're doing it. You know, I seen something the other day. It was a video, and there was a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and he brought his girlfriend to the Toyota dealership, and she was like, "Why are we here?" Now they pulled up in a nice Cadillac, and he walked up to the car. Was like, "This is your new car," and she was like, "Nah, I'm not driving that. It's a Toyota."
Oh no!
He's like, hold on. I bought you a car.
Yeah.
Now to translate that, okay, it might not be in what you're used to,
right?
But don't knock this because it's different, or it may not be as vastly popular as what you want.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, it's going to get you from A to B. The car is going to get you from A to B. The words that God put on my heart to sing to you, that you sing back to Him, that is going to get you from earth to heaven. Right. It's worship. It's genuine worship from the heart. You know. Right. I'm gonna leave that alone. I think I said enough.
Don't leave it alone. Nah. Nah, but I will say this. I believe that there are things that are divinely inspired, and I believe that there are things that are demonically inspired. And I think that sometimes what people are responding to is neither or. I think because I think at the same time some things can be pure, come from a pure place, but because of the perversion of it, so something can be simple as, like you say, like music. Like somebody can take a Beethoven song and put it in their rap beat and have a whole lot of vulgarity in it. And now when people are listening to that rap song, you know, they kind of connect the vulgarity with that Beethoven thing, that original. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So it came from a pure place. It came from an innocent place, but now it's been perverted. Like many things, and you know, like in this day and age, many things have become perverted. And so now when we see it or when we hear it, people respond like, "Oh, that's that thing." It's like, do you understand that it's just a rock, but because somebody took that rock and perverted it, now your mind perceives that thing as negative. But I think that's why I'm never gonna go into that. I'm never gonna go because we'll be here all night. We'll be here all night. No, but I think that's why God told Adam and Eve that they are not to partake of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, my question at all times has always been, then why would God put it there? Why would you put it there to tempt them? I believe, my personal belief is that God intended for them to partake in it, but in His time, when He was ready for them to take part in it, when they were mature enough not to do what they actually did. And we see the same thing happen to Adam and Eve as we see with kids this day. And in my opinion, the internet, access to social media, those things are the tree of knowledge of good and evil in this day, in my opinion. Because what happens is, now that you have all of this information, you're too immature to be able to navigate through all of that information. You're too immature. And so what you start doing is you start labeling things wrong, just like what Adam and Eve did. Their nakedness, now they labeled it as bad, right? Yep. So you start labeling things incorrectly, and I think that's what happens. And I think when people are exposed to certain things and they start to label it as negative, not really understanding the purity that comes from it. And you mentioned a lot about how your style is pretty much a lot of R&B influence, and a lot of people would associate that with something negative. And it's just like, man, do you not hear the message in what he's saying? There's a message that matters, and when it comes to worship, it's less. There is a sound. However, I believe it's less about a sound and more about the posture of the person's heart. Thank you.
I love the way you answered that. Yeah, I love the way you answered that.
So,
yeah, it's just, I think a lot of what you said is based off of, and this is my own opinion, and I think it's a certain level of immaturity in people who say, those things. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm a grown man. If I wanted to do R&B, I'd have just did it. I'd have just stayed in it. I'm just being completely transparent. I'm a grown man. So if you think that my intention is to make gospel is to pervert if you think my purpose is to pervert the message of Christ with the sound, you have too much time on your hands. You have way too much time on your hands. You might be focusing a little too hard on the wrong thing.
That's it.
We need to make sure that our hearts are right for Christ. I'm gonna leave that right there.
Oh man, listen, we can go on and on and on this stuff, man. But like you said, we're gonna leave that right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave that right there. I think I said enough.
We're gonna have to have a whole separate show on these topics.
I'm with it. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So Josh, man, what do you have coming up, man? I know you got some events and stuff that you're preparing for. Tell us what you got coming up.
At the moment, I'm open for booking. If anybody would like to book me, you can hit the email joshuarobinsonbooking@gmail.com. Like I said, I'm working on new music. If you want to book me, you can hit up my promoter, Miss Camille Thomas Alexander, on Facebook. Shout outs to her. I appreciate her whole entire existence. But yes, I have that. I'm working on new projects. I am in creative mode, I am open for booking if you would like to, attend. Also, I will be in Warren, New Jersey. I'm going to send you the flyer. I'll be in Warren, New Jersey on February 24th. I'll be, Miss Camille is hosting a open mic with performance from me as well. So if you guys would like to come, and whether you want to come and just enjoy the show or you would like to come and participate, please, I encourage everybody to go to her page and we tag her page, and everybody can reach out to her about inquiring about how it's done. And I would love to share the stage with you guys. But I'm just in full creativity mode, and I cannot wait until I can really show you guys what God has placed in my heart to bless you all.
Nice. Joshua, do you have any final words for the people?
Continue to stay prayed up, stay encouraged. Do what you can to the best of your ability with what you have, and keep God in the forefront of everything you do.
Everybody give it up for Joshua Robinson in the building. Yeah.
Love you all. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Josh, for being on the show, man. Conversations with Chris again, man. Phenomenal conversation, and we're gonna have some more, man. We gotta touch on those topics some more. Different show, man. But until then, man, thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Blessings to you and your family.
Thank you to Bill.
Yes, thank you
for bringing us together, man. So I want to remind everybody to stay real, stay right, stay relevant. This has been Conversations with Chris.
Maybach.